Counter-accusations and more disturbing revelations have continued to trail the ongoing probe of the Niger Delta Development Commission.
After shocking revelations from the Minister of the Niger Delta that lawmakers were major beneficiaries of NDDC contracts, Acting Managing Director of the NDDC has now petitioned the Inspector General of Police to carry out an investigation into contracts awarded and paid for that have not been executed. Mr. Daniel Ponde says the NDDC was forced by the legislature to pay huge sums of money as condition for harmonizing the Commission's 2019 budget.
He accused the legislature of smuggling about 11.5 billion naira into the 2019 budget. In all of this, what is the fate of the Niger Delta people? These are the questions out there. Joining us from our studio in Abuja is spokesperson, Niger Delta rights advocates, Darlington Nwauju. Darlington, good morning. It's good to have you join us right now.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Great. We're happy to see you. Now, I wonder what you make of all of the controversies, accusations and counter-accusations, allegations here and there within and around the Niger Delta issues, because we have had agitations from the Niger Deltans in the past where they complain of the government not looking their way and not also assisting when it comes to their plight. But when you hear of so much amount of money, one wonders, I wonder what goes through your mind.
Well, I want to quickly say that the book of Lamentations was not written because of the people of the Niger Delta. That said, I believe, and my group do believe strongly and completely in Project Nigeria. And because of that, we have adapted one of the phrases of the legendary, the most celebrated novelist and literature icon, Ngugi wa Thiong'o. We've captured one of the phrases in his book, Weep Not Child, to say that for us in the Niger Delta, we have decided to put faith in hope. And with that particular adaptation being our watchword, believing in Project Nigeria, we want to say that the current dramatization of corruption in the Niger Delta is a sad one. It's a very sad commentary in the annals of the people of the Niger Delta region, because the NDDC was a special purpose vehicle targeted at mitigating the infrastructural deficit that and the long years of government neglect of the people of the region who have all these years sustained the economy of this nation. And so what is going on, the back and forth, does not add up, does not help the cause of the average man on the street of the Niger Delta. We have roads
Mr.
that
Nwauju,
have been
if
abandoned.
I'll have to interrupt your line of thought at this point. As much as the Book of Lamentations is not written for the people of the Niger Delta, how have you and your association, which is interested in the protection of the rights of the people of Niger Delta, engaged with government? 20 years of the NDDC, what have you done within those years to ensure that the rights of the people of the Niger Delta are not trampled upon?
Yes, exactly. The thing we are doing is also the reason why I'm in your studio. Because we need to break away from the culture of violence. And that is why we have decided and chosen the path of intellectual militancy. To tell our people and to tell Nigeria and the government of Nigeria that we cannot go back to the ugly years of militancy, of kidnapping, of blowing up of pipelines. And so we have been engaging government on all fronts, using the media, because that is the only weapon available to us.
All right.
Engaging government on the need to tackle the issues of the Niger Delta. on the need for the presidency of Nigeria to see the issue of the Niger Delta as an issue that demands urgent attention.
All right. Darlington, Nigerians...
that the issues have been...
Yeah, Darlington, certainly Nigerians are going to be happy to hear that the best way to engage is to talk and dialogue. Absolutely. Instead of violence. We thank you for your time. Certainly this discussion is going to continue so that we bring perspective to some of these issues.
Absolutely. All right. As it stands with the several revelations, the president has asked for a forensic audit, and there has also been a request for certain persons to return some certain amounts. I wonder first if you are confident that the forensic audit will address the issues that we have seen revealed over time in recent weeks, and if that is the way to go.
Well, sadly, I must comment that it's been more than 9 months after Mr. President's directive for a forensic audit to be carried out, for a surgical operation to be carried out on the agency. And I think that the situation of the agency has become cancerous. That said, I also want to say that the issue of those who engage in extra-budgetary expenditure to the tune of over 4.923 billion naira, as discovered by the Senate probe report, should be made to account. Because the governance and leadership is a huge burden of responsibility. And those who have been given such responsibilities must be held to account at every point in time. And part of our advocacy is to change the negative optics with which the Niger Delta Development Commission has been known for. So if the acting managing director of the commission has written to the IGP for a probe of whatever, we are saying that what we need as Niger Deltans is an agency that is service-oriented, an agency that is responsive and responsible. And we are saying that as it stands today, the agency is neither responsive nor responsible to the people of the Niger Delta.
Yeah, but Darlington, a lot of people
not accountable.
Yeah, Darlington, a lot of people would say that if you look at the laws established in the NDDC, it actually adequately caters for ideally what is supposed to be. It is those who are running it that may fall short of the standards. Now, coming to the issue of accountability, how do you and organizations like yours and others, how do you hope to hold your direct leaders accountable in such a way that you are not going back to the trenches and then there is no violence as it used to be, like you said, but it is effective enough to bring them to the table to talk?
Well, thank you very much for that question. One of our arguments is that the president and the government of Nigeria must go back to the act setting up the Niger Delta Development Commission. That's the Establishment Act 2000. That act provides for a governance and operational structure that will allow for checks and balances within the system. And we are saying that Mr. President has ignored the relevant sections of that act establishing the NDDC, which has led to the cacophony and the plethora of corruption allegations that is bedeviling the agency. Section 2 of the act establishing the NDDC talks about the board. Section 10 talks about the management committee. Section 11 talks about the governor's advisory council. And section 21 talks about the presidential monitoring committee.
All right.
These internal checks have been ignored. There is no presidential monitoring committee we should have access to project monitoring. We should have access to the account books of that agency.
All right, Darlington Nwauju, we have to leave the conversation here now. Thank you so much for your time on The Breakfast Show.